All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show once again this week. And as always, I'm your host, David Burrows. And hello, Karinder Singh, already out there saying hello to us. We are broadcasting live all over the world, of course, here in Sarnia-Lambton, in Sarnia, Ontario, of course. Throughout Canada, we are being simulcast throughout the world, throughout the United States. Australia is watching us. United Kingdom is watching us. South Africa is watching us. And I think, pardon me, and I think Ireland's in there too, right? So thanks to all of our friends who are simulcasting our show for us today. So people watching from all over the world. And just before we get started, I got to take a real quick break, and then I'll get back with some of the things we're going to be talking about. So stay with me. I'll return in a moment. Just like that, we're working again. All right. Technical world, right? We got to work on making these things happen. But how have you been? Hope you've had a great weekend. Did you get out and enjoy the Santa Claus parade that was downtown, the 38th annual Santa Claus parade? Wow, hard to believe that the Sarnia Kinsmen began that 38 years ago, and they work hard all year to raise funds to be able to bring us the Santa Claus parade. So thanks to the Sarnia Kinsmen for that. And I was able to, for the fourth year, get out and live stream. That's right, live stream. Kojiko, your TV was there as well. But we were able to be in the Royal LePage Key Realty building in downtown Sarnia. They allow us to come in now for the fourth year. This year we were inside to where we could stay warm to bring you the broadcast. So that was an added bonus. So thanks, Royal LePage, for that. And Blue Water Power was our title sponsor for that as well. We've had many other sponsors in there as well. We'll be listing them on our Facebook page. So thank you to all of our supporters. And the replay for that video of the Santa Claus Parade, the 38th annual, is available on my YouTube channel, Dave Burrows, or also just go to the show with David Burrows on YouTube, or you can also see the link on our Facebook page as well. All right. Well, 'tis the season for sure, and 'tis the season for hockey to continue as well. The Sarnia Sting, ups and downs throughout the season so far this year. But when they win, boy, do they ever really win well. This past weekend, it was 8-5 in favor of the Sarnia Sting as they took on the Flint Firebirds. And this is always an interesting game because Flint seems to be a thorn in the side of the Sarnia Sting. Last year, they were a low team and still gave Sarnia Sting a hard time. And this year, Flint Firebirds had like an 11-game losing streak. They hadn't won a game all season. And Sarnia Sting was the first to give the Flint Firebirds a win. So when they came back here this past weekend, there was definitely some payback looking about. And payback was, I tell you, the first period was like a tennis match. It was 1-0, and it was 1-1, and it was 2-1. It was 2-2. It went on and on. I think there was like 7 goals, pardon me, in the first period, 7 goals combined. So it was nice to see the Sarnia Sting come out on top for that one, of course. Final score of 8-5. And now we're going to take you to a special interview right now. We caught up with Calvin Martin, who is happy to talk to us post-game and talk about the final score of 8-5. And there, we'll take a look at that right now.
Post game with Calvin Martin, that was a heck of a shift you had there, goal, and then that behind the back no look pass to Hugo Lavinius out front.
Yeah, that was a good shift. It started off with a good bounce there on my goal. I guess they were on a weird change there, so I just wheeled out the middle and then had a good shot there. And then, yeah, Hugo's come right down the center, and he made a nice move with the deke there and went in. So
I don't think I've ever seen a game like that tonight. That first period was just wild and crazy. You get a couple goaltender changes. You get a goalie kicked out of the game in the second period. What's going through your mind in that first period?
Yeah, that was quite a period. I think there was 7 goals in the first 6 minutes there. So just keep plugging away. I guess it was a high-scoring game, so we said to outscore them.
Is it nice to have that confidence to know that you guys, you can get behind, but you've got that offensive side to it?
Yeah, for sure. It was a bit of a slow start for us in the first, but that comeback really shows we can really, if everyone dials in, we can get something going really well. So.
Now, In a game like that where it is as high scoring as it is, how fun is it to play in those?
Yeah, it is fun, I guess. I don't know, points and that and stuff, but you get time and space. It's stressful, I guess, on the defense side, but it is fun offensively.
What is it like the first intermission when you finally get a chance to kind of catch your breath after a period like that?
Yeah, it was. I think we all knew we could do a lot better than we did in the first, so we were just, I guess, getting rest and then kind of forgetting about the first, and then went out and scored more goals. So.
Was there anything said at the end of the game as far as who you guys are playing on Sunday afternoon? Obviously, you're going to have to clean things up a little bit defensively against the London Knights.
Yeah, they're a great team now this year, so yeah, we have to come in a bit more defensive and just stick to our game plan. I think we got away with it in the first with a selfish play, but once second and third we're playing as a team in the showed. So.
All right. Well, thanks to Calvin Martin, who joined us post-game after winning the Flint Firebirds. And you heard Patrick DeRoche, who's one of the voices for CHOK Radio when they announced the games, saying, you're going to have to clean up that defense a little bit. And they were aware of that. But they weren't able to pull that off, unfortunately. And thanks, by the way, to our friends at Blackwater Coffee. They support the post-game here on the shows after all the I'm having trouble talking today. The post game at the Sarnia Sting. So thanks to them. And again, thanks to Calvin Martin. Unfortunately, they would go on to play on Sunday afternoon, and it would fall to the London Knights. 6-3 would be the final score for that one. So still going to have some work to do there as they come back this week. And by the way, I do have to mention that Hugo Lavinius now, it has stopped, but he had a 10-goal winning streak, a 10-goal streak, I should say. So congratulations to Hugo Lavinius for that. Sarnia Sting will be back in action this week. Of course, I'll be back there at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. I really am struggling to say that 5 times fast. The Progressive Auto Sales Arena, and that's December 7th and 8th this week. They will go down and be in Windsor on Thursday against the Windsor Spitfires, and then Friday the Windsor Spitfires will come here. And then Saturday, it is the annual Teddy Bear Toss, sponsored by Lambton Ford and your Sarnia Sting, and I believe it is the 21st annual Teddy Bear Toss. So go out, buy your teddy bears, get your tickets, come on down and support the Sarnia Sting. They really need your support to cheer them on. They need some more wins. And you'll be able to watch myself, my friend Jay Peckham, and also Jake Chersky, and also some other special guests. And, of course, just like you saw there, we're always live post-game there. So we'll be able to keep you updated with that. So that's coming up, again, this Friday and Saturday at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. We're looking forward to being there for that. All right. Well, I got to tell you, I guess a little biasly, I'm excited for this one. I'm going to do some karaoke. For those of you who don't know me, I did karaoke. I was a karaoke host for 20-some years, and they're pulling me back into it again. I'm going to be down at McCarthy's Bar and Grill Southside tomorrow night. That's Tuesday if you're watching this live. And they're having a customer appreciation night. And Marty reached out to me and said, hey, Burrows, I'd like you to come and run some karaoke for us. So I'll be there from 6 until 10 p.m., but it all starts 4 o'clock in the afternoon down at McCarthy's Southside Bar and Grill. That's down off Confederate in the old Sherwood Village there, the old Sherwood Village. They built it when I was in high school, so that was a while ago. So come on down and have some fun, and they're going to have some free appetizers. Molson's going to be there with some fantastic prizes and karaoke. And even if you don't sing, come on down. We need audience members, too, to clap on the karaoke folks, right? Okay, looking forward to that. Again, I'll be starting the karaoke at 6 o'clock. All right, well, if you're a gamer, you'll love this one as well. Super Smash Brothers has been happening down at the Hog Bar downtown Sarnia. And if you haven't been to the Hog Bar in downtown Sarnia, you really need to check it out. They got fantastic food going on. It's all been redone inside, downstairs there. They got draft specials on there. They got some refined food beer on there too. And the staff is super awesome. I've gotten to know them quite well. And this Wednesday night, they're having their finals of Super Smash Brothers. Registration starts at 6 o'clock, and the games will begin at 7. I'm planning to be down there to bring you some updates during the night as well, but it's always better in person. So make sure you come on down and say hello to us at the Hog Bar for the Super Smash Brothers finals. Say that 5 times fast. I bet you my guest could say it better than me. All right, Rob Sharp in Little Chicago coming up this Friday, a part of fundraiser for the River City Vineyard. Tickets $20 in advance for this and $25 at the door, supporting the River City Vineyard. And they're also asking you, if you come and attend, to bring at least one canned food to support their food bank that they also have at the River City Vineyard as well. And Rob Sharp in Little Chicago, that's just worth the $20 alone. Again, $25 at the door down at River City Vineyard here in Sarnia on Mitten Street. And the Sarnia Special Olympics, a part of First Friday, they're going to be getting together in downtown Sarnia as well. And they're going to have some free hot chocolate, courtesy of Tim Hortons, and some other goodies and stuff going on. 'Tis the season. I don't know which is busier, summer or winter around here, but we're busy all the time. It seems extra busy because of Christmas, right? So get downtown. Lots of things happening, of course. First Friday, some of these things start like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The Sarnia Special Olympics. Big Highway going to be down at Cheeky Monkey. Always some great live entertainment for First Friday at Cheeky Monkey, and they've always got some great deals on there. I just bought I can't tell you what I bought because they might be watching, but I bought some gifts, some CDs and DVDs. I bought myself a couple things too. Marianne and Roland down there, very supportive of local music. And Big High, we're going to be there from 7 o'clock till 9 p.m. with live classic rock music and some art display, again, from Bill Waters, going to be on there as well. And a whole lot of things happening in downtown Sarnia, so make sure you check that out for the First Friday event. Our friends at Grace United Church are having a craft sale or vendor sale, if you will. I'm just going to start all over. This Saturday, slow down, David. There's no time limit. Down at Grace United Church on Cathcart Boulevard. They'll have some great sales down there, and that'll be supporting their church as well. That's this Saturday. Keep in mind, I know I'm going through this fast, but I'll be posting all these links and all these posters for you to know what's going on. The Strangway Center, I got to tell you, the Strangway Center has been really busy at working hard to get people out there. Earlier this year, they had the Hobby Fest there this year. So the Strangway Center is not just for the older crowd. Is that how you say it? The older crowd. I'm 49. It's for young people too, ages like 21 and up. So get down there and check out what's going on at the Strangway Center. And they're going to be having their Christmas holiday market coming up this Saturday as well. East Street at the Strangway Center. If you don't know where that is, Google it. It's down on East Street by the East Street Fire Hall. And I know all our friends down at the Strangway Center. Looking forward to having you there as well. This is a very special one. I wanted to make sure I put out there. A friend of mine and a friend of many around, Greg Stalker, who is an electrician, is not able to work anymore due to some health issues. And this Saturday, starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they'll be having a special fundraiser to support Greg Stalker. And that'll be happening down at the Moose Lodge, again, starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and going on till, well, they say about 10, but I think we could probably convince them to go longer. So if you know Greg and you've got some time this Saturday afternoon, I know I'll be popping by there this afternoon to say hello to my friend Greg and maybe donate some funds to help him out as well because, well, tough times, right? So that's happening down at the Moose Lodge. Also coming down to Theater 42, Quiet Mind and several others. Our friend Harold Collins put this together. He's bringing some independent music artists. Great idea. It's working out. It's coming in January, not till January 19th, I know, but mark it down on your calendar. All independent music and down at Theater 42, which is located at the corner of Indian and Divine. A fantastic idea put on by Harold Collins to support independent music. Mamma Mia coming up in March. This is going to be put on by the Petrolia Lions Club. You say, why is he talking about March? Because it'll be here like that. I'm telling you, like Christmas just showed up, right? Mamma Mia, I know some of the performers in this one, and they are fantastic. They're traveling all over, and they're coming to Petrolia, and this will support the Petrolia Lions group, and, of course, the Petrolia Lions giving back into their community as well. So just a lot of great opportunities to go out, have some fun, and support some great causes. And just before we get to my first guest, I'm going to give a shout-out right now to the United Way. Their campaign goal, as was last year, is $2 million. Dave Brown, the executive director for United Way, joins me here every month, and he tells me they are behind this year. So they're still waiting for some corporate sponsors to come on board, but they're also hoping that you, the community, will reach out and donate to the United Way. And if you don't know how to do it, just reach out to them on Facebook, Sarnia-Lambton United Way, or give them a call at their office. They even have an employee payroll program so that with your small business or large business, they'll come in and show you how easy it is to set it up on your payroll, and those donations automatically get sent into United Way Sarnia-Lambton. And they support 19 local agencies here in Sarnia-Lambton, which provides about 34 services. Every dollar from the United Way in Sarnia-Lambton stays in Sarnia-Lambton. It does not leave or go anywhere. And Dave and his small team of 5 people work hard to make things happen, and their goal, $2 million. So if you can help out with that, let them know. All right. Well, there you go. Christmas brings a lot of different things. And of course, we talk about Santa Claus, but there's a religious side to it for many as well. And the Nativity. Remember the Nativity? I think I still have my mother's little nativity scene. Well, what about the Nativity Walk? Yes, there is a Nativity Walk. And our friend Linda Weening is sitting in the hallway, if you will, and we're going to bring her on live right now. Hello, Linda.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thanks I was a little behind there, so I appreciate your patience.
That's all right.
Tell everybody where you coming to us live from right now.
Okay, we're at the corner of Exmouth and Murphy at First Christian Reformed Church. You may know it as the church that has the Garden of Eden around the corner. Yep. And right now there's a huge white silhouette nativity outdoors, so you can't miss it.
Fantastic. One of the things I always noted about that church in particular was there's always a different saying out on the front sign, and that always caught my eye. I was always curious who came up with that.
Well, over the years, it's been different people. Many different people have contributed to this sign putting up, but in the winter, try climbing the ladder and tearing off the ice-coated letters, and sometimes they don't get changed frequently enough.
There you go. Yeah. Well, you're part of this Nativity Walk that's starting this Friday. Is that correct?
That's right, Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. And what time does it get started?
At 1 o'clock Friday afternoon, and classrooms are invited to come, for on field trips, and we have some. Usually, nursing homes might bring a bus full of people, and so Friday afternoon is a busy time, and we go till 9 o'clock Friday evening, and then we start again Saturday morning at 10 until 3.
Right, and I'm just looking at the schedule here, showing our viewers. You've got quite a lineup of music going to be a part of this as well.
That's right. We have live music going on in the sanctuary at all times, more or less background music. But early Saturday morning, the piano students, one of the piano teachers has all her students coming, and they each do their little Christmas song. So grandparents come out and see your grandkids, and but there's also bands, and then there's flute with piano, there's organ, and many different people contributing on the music side.
Yeah, I see. That's fantastic to be able to have that music community participate in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. I always know, too, when I was younger, and I don't know if this is something that's being lost at Christmas time, but we used to sit around the piano, and we had both a piano and an organ at my place, and Mom would play that, and we'd sing Christmas carols, right? So it's nice to. This is kind of an old-fashioned thing. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, it is. Well, because we're emphasizing the real meaning of Christmas, like that. Right. Jesus came at Christmas time, and that's what we're celebrating. So And
tell me what you've got. You've got lots of lots around you there, and lots of things. So give us the tour.
Okay, so here is, I think this is our largest Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus, and he's ceramic. And then here we have the metal ones, and these are, I love these because they're from Thailand, and it's like 3 different artists got the same materials and, make a nativity ornament, and each one is different. It's like, I love the artist touch. And speaking of art, Look at these. These are the Navajo. Girlfriend was in Arizona, and she bought these from the artist in Arizona, and they depict the Navajo wise man, or
Nice.
the wise chiefs, whatever. And so we love finding ones that are unique and works of art. Talk about a unique one. Somebody found this in Peru, and it's Mounties with a beaver and a moose for the shepherd's animals, whatever, and baby Jesus is on a maple leaf. So
Oh,
this was
wow.
made in China and sold in Peru for Canadian tourists. And it came back to Sarnia.
So that one's been around the world a bit.
That one's been around, but so have many of them. This one is my Inuit one. So the shepherd, instead of having a sheep, has a seal. And yeah, the people are definitely Inuit type faces, right? So I love to know that Jesus came for everybody, for the Navajo, for the Inuit, for everyone.
For all cultures.
All cultures. Look at the Mexican one over there. Keep going there. How individual that is. Mary with her funny looking halo and the birds and everything. That's so distinctly Mexican. And so the wise men, yeah, each culture depicts the nativity in their own way. We've noticed over the years that the Kenyan ones are all very tall and thin. The Peruvian ones are nice roly-poly characters. So every culture has their ideal person, and that's what they depict in their nativities. So you learn a lot about all kinds of different cultures when you're doing this.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like every culture, like we talk about Santa Claus. I mean, of course, I always get away from the religious side of it, but
right.
every culture sort of the same but different.
Yes, and the origin of nativities is that hundreds of years ago, the Jesuits used to use nativity sets to teach the Christmas story to illiterate people. Like people who couldn't read the Bible learned the story of Christmas through nativity scenes. And to this day, people are using nativity scenes to teach their children about the Christmas story.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly common. I mean, to have a nativity scene at Christmas. Well, at least I know in my house we did, and we, my wife and I, we have one now, and so I guess the pictures sell it, right? I guess the visual side of it.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
So talk a little bit more about the Nativity Walk. Like, where does it? Is it all just at the church, or?
Okay, that's
how
the
does this
thing.
happen?
Some people are thinking, oh, it's too cold out. I don't want to do a walk, But no, it's not outdoors at all.
Right.
You come in the main doors, and the walk is through the sanctuary, through the nursery, down to the basement, where you'll get free cider and home-baked cookies. There's activities for the children to sit and do, coloring, dot to dots, whatever. And there's also nativities that the children can play with down there. There's, some that are specifically designed to be played with by children. So we love that part of it too. And so the only outside part of the Nativity Walk is when you go outside to enjoy the big one on the lawn there. But for the rest, you're walking indoors. And the building is also accessible, so we have a lift, like to go down to the basement for your refreshments. No reason not to bring Grandma with her wheelchair.
Right.
Come and enjoy it.
So that's good to know. So it's accessible for everybody.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fantastic. How many years has this been happening?
This is our 5th year. Now, we got the idea from a church in Edmonton who's done it for about 10, 15 years, I don't know, and they have like twice as many. We have about over 300 nativity sets or nativity things here. They have about 600, and they also have a lot of visitors in the city.
So this is something
But,
that's started and grown, and you're expecting to grow it a little more every year.
Right. The first year we had maybe 120 sets, and now we're up to 350 and more. And the idea is the church does not own these.
Okay.
People who have a nice you picked up when you were traveling in South Africa might bring it in, display it, and then you pick it up again on Saturday. So all of the sets are owned by people in Sarnia. So it's not that we own all these at all.
So it's collaboration of people from the community have traveled around and brought this all together into one place for everybody's going to get into it. Wow, that's amazing. 350 sets.
And I don't think there's two the same. No. And it's endless, the number of different things. I was in Egypt last year, and I found some. In Egypt, the Christians are really anxious to let everybody know that Jesus was a refugee in Egypt when he was young, right? He was 2 years old, he fled to Egypt. And so I have a papyrus scroll that was made in Egypt that depicts Mary and Joseph and a little bit older Jesus on the donkey going to Egypt. And so
that's fantastic.
We go to travel, we try to find a nativity that is specific to that culture.
You're probably keeping your eyes extra open now.
Oh, always. Yes, exactly. In fact, I went to a lot of places in Egypt before I found actual nativities for sale. We ended up in a church bazaar. This was lucky we were there in November when they had a Christmas bazaar going on.
Right. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for, I know this was a new experience for you just to do this interview live. And you did a fantastic job. We got you. You're a professional now, so I'll expect you to be able to do this every time. Just before I wrap up, is there anything else you wanna let people know?
Well, if anyone has a nativity at home that they would like to share, we are at the church all week. And what we do is we have a database. We put a number on your set. We indicate in the database who it belongs to, and then where it is displayed, so that on Saturday afternoon you can come and pick it up, and you'll know exactly where it is, and just come and pick it up.
Well, fantastic.
We would love it if anybody would like to share theirs for the first time.
Yeah,
would be great.
All right. Well, we'll spread the word out there, and if I'll have to check my schedule, I might be able to get down there on Saturday, and maybe I'll come down and we'll do a quick live down there and show some people some more of the nativity scenes that are down there.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, Linda, thank you so much to you and your team of people for putting this all together, and thanks for giving me your time here this afternoon.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for having.
All right, Linda Weening there. Wow, what an incredible display. 350 nativity. I really appreciate the fact that she pointed out this is not a nativity walk outdoors, so you won't be cold. So the church down at Murphy Road in Exmouth that you heard her talk about right at the corner there. This starts on Friday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it begins again on Saturday for the day. Hot chocolate and goodies and treats and 350 nativity scenes. And as you can see there on your screen, there's going to be lots of music and entertainment throughout the day, throughout the weekend as well. So thanks again to Linda for joining me here. Really do appreciate it. And again, folks, remember, I'll be sharing all the links in these posters so you have the schedule just after the show. All right. Well, 'tis the season for giving, and our friend Jake Chersky is joining us here today as well, because he come up with something he felt that was needed as well. And if you don't know Jake, well, then you're not hanging around in the right places. How you doing, Jake?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. You're a busy guy.
Yes.
You're kind of like you could start your own show.
hey, maybe we can talk. Do you want to produce?
There you go. You're busy now with this humble community, right?
Yes.
Say that right?
Well, it's called Hometown Huddle.
Or hometown huddle, right?
Yeah,
Sorry, I
that's
don't know
the
why I said
name of
humble
it.
community. I
But
was
it is
thinking
a hum-
football.
it
I was
is a
thinking
humble-
huddle.
It is a humble community we live in.
It's a fantastic, very giving community for sure. So hometown huddle.
Yes.
Say that 5 times fast.
No.
Hometown huddle. Hometown huddle. Tell us all about what's happening with the hometown huddle, because I think this is really important what you're doing.
Well, I was sitting around one day and I was just talking, sitting with my girlfriend, and I said, man, I want to do something. I want to do something for, from the Imperials to the community to kind of give back as best we can. So we were just sitting around and I said, hey, why don't we do this? And so the idea is we're collecting donations of hygiene products and clothing only. And
Right.
we've targeted the vineyard. We were talking about the vineyard earlier on your show here. We've targeted them and the women's interval home, and that's who we're gonna split the donations up for them. This way, there's from my last research that I did, the vineyard has more male people that are there, and obviously the women's interval home. A lot of times when people use those facilities, it's not like we have time to pack and get going. We're
Right.
we're trying to get out of a situation real quick, and I think it's a great cause. So we've decided to pick those two this year, and with the help of the Sarnia Imperials, we're going to create a hometown huddle. It's
Well, I think it's a fantastic idea, because I mean there's a lot of needs out there in any community, but we know what they are in our community, and food is always one that seems to get more donations at this time of year. The different food banks that we have available, and there is one at River City as well. But there's that other stuff, like they say, like the hygiene products, but they're not cheap.
No.
Like soap and shampoo and toothpaste and even a toothbrush is, and talking to some of the people in our community that are involved in these different food banks, etc. These are the most expensive things, and they're often the ones that get forgotten when people donate.
Yes, I just heard the other day, for example, socks. Some of the craziest socks, like everybody's willing to give a coat, but socks, like that's where it kind of starts to keep your feet warm. So it was, we're excited to be doing this. Obviously, there's so many groups out there. There's so many people giving at this time of year too, and that was kind of part of it. Do we do it at a different time of year? And I kind of forged ahead and just decided that it's I want to do it now. I don't know. I wanted to make it happen now. I just think wintertime, for the occasion that it is, obviously with almost getting half of it, it just meant more to me to try to help out in the winter if we could. So
I don't think there's a bad time of year for you to do this.
Absolutely.
No time like the present to get it out there. And let's be honest, this is a giving time of year. So people tend to be a little more generous this time of year. And it does get cold out there. And I think a lot of us, myself, yourself included, we're busy and we're fortunate. So we don't think about not having socks.
Right.
Or gloves. Right. Or shampoo. Like, I take a shower every day and it's just there. Yeah. So it's good to recognize that happens. So people, they bring the donations down to you.
Yeah. I'm taking them at 980 Confederation Street. And man, if you could, the outcome right now, over 500 hygiene items. I've got over 100 pounds of clothing sitting in here right now. So we're pretty excited. It's already a success, but we're going to go right until 20th of December. I've got a few people from the football team that have offered to help out volunteering. So when we split everything up and, go make our presentation to the vineyard and to the interval home, that's going to help me out a lot. So I'm just glad that everybody's chipping in a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, like you say, you got the Sarnia Imperials football helping you out there. I know you're a big part of that, but tell everybody a little bit how the let's give some shout out to the Sarnia Imperial team and how they did this year.
Oh, we've been having a dynasty the last 10 years, except for one team keeps beating us out. So I don't know if that's a dynasty or not, but you know what? We've been very successful. We have great fans in Sarnia, so you know this is kind of part of us giving back to them, just to let them know that we're not just here for 3 months out of the year. We're here all the time, and we want to give back. But the Imperials, we went to the championship game twice out of the last 3 seasons. We've been to 7 out of 8 semifinal games. So I mean,
Awesome.
if anybody's looking for a winning team to follow, you might as well pick us, I guess. We've been showing up year after year, and we plan on hosting the national championship in Sarnia this year. So
That's awesome.
It'll be held in Ontario, and if we can win the league, then we're the team that will be selected to host that game. So we're hoping.
Well, how great would that be, not just for the team, but for Sarnia as well? And I've been because of you, I've been following along quietly for about 3 years now. So that's fantastic. So congratulations to you and the team. And thanks for putting this on. I think it's important that you're doing this, and kudos to the team as well for helping you out.
No, not a problem. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Jake, I'll be down to see you this week, buddy. And we'll bring some donations. And folks, you can bring your donations in to help out Jake and the Sarnia Imperial football team, support the River City Vineyard and the Women's Interval Home. Just go down to 988 Confederation Street. That's where Philly Cheese Jake's is, where our friend Jake runs his business as well. So, Jake, thanks again, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks a lot for having me on.
You're welcome. Jake's an awesome guy, and he's got a big heart, and he's a very giving individual, so it doesn't surprise me that he does this sort of thing and came up with this. He helps me out at the Sarnia Staying Home games as well, along with my friend Jay Peckham, so I really appreciate him being in there and helping me out with that. So, Jake, thanks again. Again, 988 Confederation Street. That's down at the corner of Confed and Lansdowne, and there's where Philly Cheese Jake is. You can go in and keep dropping off your donations of hygiene and warm clothing. Big thing, like we said, especially the hygiene products. They really get missed this time of year when people make donations. All right. Well, as we said, 'tis the season. Have you got your New Year's Eve plans yet? It didn't even hit me till like a couple of days ago. I was like, oh, wow, New Year's Eve. I don't have anything going on. What am I going to do? I might just stay home, but why would I stay home when there's an opportunity to go out there and support your local Big Brothers and Big Sisters? And Executive Director for Big Brothers here in Sarnia-Lambton, Michael Hurry. Thanks for being here, Michael.
Great to be joining you, Dave. Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk about this new event for us.
Yeah, well, I had to think about that. I was like, I don't think they've done this before. So this is brand new for Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Yeah, we, for the last quite a few years, we've done a tastings event at the end of April, and we'd run that for about 25 years, and the organization just decided, you know what, we really need to change things up. And so this event is what we're bringing forward as a replacement for tastings. Yeah,
okay. Well, New Year's Eve, who doesn't like a good New Year's Eve party? And
and everybody knows the date, right? December 31st.
Yeah, it's just Colin, make sure it's the same time this year.
Yeah. Okay. So this year, we're at the Dante Club, and anybody who's been around Sarnia at all knows the Dante Club puts on some pretty incredible meals. We're doing a prime rib dinner, and with all the trimmings, and we'll have some auction events going on. We'll have music. We'll have watch the ball drop at midnight and have champagne toasts at midnight. So it's an all-inclusive sort of evening, and a great opportunity to celebrate the end of the year and the beginning of a new year with one of the agencies, I think, that gets a great deal of support from this community.
Well, as you and I have talked before, and we say it often here in the show, this is a very giving community, Sarnia-Lambton. They tend to come together, and there's a lot to choose from. So it still seems that these things work out. Let's talk a little bit more about Big Brothers and Big Sisters and what they do. And I think most people would say, "Oh, Big Brothers, yeah, I've heard of that. They're kind of world renowned." And Big Brother and a Big Sister, but there's a little more to it than just having a Big Brother and a Big Sister involved, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you say, most people are familiar with the name of the organization. Most people, if you ask them about what we do, they would know or be able to tell you a little bit about, the fact that we have men and women in the community that take on a child as a little brother or little sister. But a lot of people don't realize that we do a lot more than that. We have a very large in-school mentoring program. In fact, we probably have more people in the community going into schools to work one-on-one with kids in schools than we do in any other program, including our traditional Big Brother Big Sister program. We have a couple of group-based programs that run in the school. One specifically targeted at young ladies in school called Go Girls, and the other one is Game On, which is targeted to boys in like grades 6, 7, and 8, and they're gender specific for a reason. They were developed with the Ministry of Health, really with our concern, and I think everybody's concerned about the fact that we're gaining weight as we move along as a society, and that's affecting our kids as much as it is our adults. And we really wanted to focus on healthy eating and healthy lifestyle, and that's what those programs are really targeted at. We have a Big Bunch program, which really tries to engage the youth in the community that are not part of one of our other programs that are waiting for service. We do an after-school program, so there's a lot more to the agency program service wise than most people are aware.
Yeah, well, and I think it's important to point out because I know, like, and Big Brothers Big Sisters been around for how many years?
Well, we've been in Canada for over 100 years. We've been in Sarnia for 51 years, so a long service. And to celebrate 50 years of service last year, I think is a pretty significant milestone for any organization.
Absolutely.
But when you think that we don't receive any ongoing government funding, and we're really totally reliant on the support of the community, that makes that surviving for 50 years pretty special.
Absolutely, and I think it's a good point that you make there, because I think a lot of people, probably myself included, would think, oh, every nonprofit, if you're a nonprofit, you get some sort of government funding, and of course, I've come to realize that's just not true. And so, absolutely, to be able to sustain itself for that many years, just even locally, is like you said, a fantastic. I have to. We're still in the throes of the United Way campaign. I have to, certainly mention the United Way. They've been big supporters of Big Brothers Big Sisters over the years and continue to support us. But they can only support us to a certain level, and that's why we're out in the community doing things like, Bowl for Kids or the New Year's Eve Gala. It's to bring in the rest of the money to support the organization. We're over the last few years, we're running somewhere between 600 and 800 children that are involved in programs that we run each year. So it affects a significant number of the children and youth in the Sarnia community. And that's probably a growing number, I would think. I mean, when I was I'm going to go back into the 70s. So when I was 10 years old in 1979, I was very young and my parents divorced, right? And back then in the 70s and even the 80s, it was still, divorced parents was still kind of a new thing, right? But over time, that number has grown tremendously. So with that, you probably see an increase in numbers of a need. Yeah, I can remember when I was in school, I think there was only one child in our class that was from a single parent home. And that, certainly isn't the case. I can remember being at one school where the teacher had 30-some children in his class, and there were only 2 of the kids in that class that were from 2-parent home. If your parents are married, you're not normal. Yeah, that's really sad to say, but that is the case in a number of places in this community and others. So with that being said, with the number growing for the need, that also creates more of a need for volunteers then. Yeah, you know what, and we're doing okay. I mean, there's always a waiting list. Well, we're probably, in the time I've been here, we've never not had a waiting list of children. But over the years, as I mentioned before, we've developed a lot of different programs and different ways of trying to support and help those children. So that they're getting some sort of support and service through one of the program agencies. It's not all the traditional one-to-one volunteers in the community anymore, but there's a lot of ways that we reach out to have those children. Yeah. So if somebody wanted to be a volunteer, there's obviously, there's a process, and I would think a regulated process of some sort.
Yeah, and you know what? We have a small staff, and the staff is here to screen and match and supervise the volunteers, and to make sure that everything is done in a proper manner, and that we're giving the right volunteers to the situations. But that small staff is here to support all the volunteers and the children that are part of the organization. So we really empower the volunteers to provide the services to the community.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Mike, tell everybody one more time what's happening for New Year's Eve, how much, and what they can expect.
Okay, so this is our first shot at our, what we hope will be an ongoing New Year's Eve celebration. It's at the Dante Club, of course, December 31st. Nice prime rib dinner with all the trimmings and all the bells and whistles that you would expect at a New Year's Eve event. The proceeds go to support Big Brothers Big Sisters in the Sarnia community, so none of these funds are going outside of Sarnia. And the cost is $125 per person.
Fantastic. And this is all to support Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Do you have a Dick Clark? I was wondering if I maybe dyed my hair, could I maybe I could
You know what, we could talk about that.
I think I could be well, I'm not as thin as him either, but I could work on it. Yeah, let's talk about that.
We could do some trick photography maybe, and
you can Photoshop my face. Mike, thanks so much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you before the holidays are over.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dave. Take care.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Michael Hurry, the executive director for Big Brothers, and a joint event here, Big Brothers Big Sisters, New Year's Eve. I don't have to tell you the date. You should know. And it's supporting this fantastic group who does provide a lot of support to the youth in our community. And as Michael very importantly mentioned, they get no support from the government. So all of this comes from you, the community. They do get some support from United Way, but 51 years to be able to keep things going just here in Sarnia-Lambton, and over 100 years from beginning. So thanks, Michael Hurry, for joining us. If you haven't got anything to do for New Year's Eve, why not do this one? The first time gala, New Year's Eve gala, I should say, for Big Brothers Big Sisters. All right, lots going on, and thanks again, Michael Hurd, for joining us. All right, well, boy, it just seems like the show hour just flies by when you're having a whole lot of fun. I want to thank all of my guests for joining me. Linda Weening from the Nativity Walk that's going to be happening at the church down at Exmouth and Murphy here, starting on Friday and going throughout the weekend till the end of Saturday evening. A nativity walk that happens all indoors, 350 nativity scenes for you to view, and there'll be hot chocolate treats and goodies and celebrating Christmas from the religious point of view, right? And then our friend Jake Chersky, him and his big heart, and his friends from the Sarnia Imperial football team, looking for your donations to give to the River City Vineyard, who has their own food bank and community giving area there as well. And they're looking for hygiene products and warm clothing, gloves, socks, coats, okay? And also a reminder as well that the River City Vineyard is having its own fundraiser this Friday with Rob Sharp in Little Chicago. I'm having trouble talking today for some reason. So thanks again to my friend Jake Chersky. You can take your donations down to him at 988 Confederation at his shop down there, Philly Cheesesteaks. And then, of course, again, Michael Hurry, Executive Director from Big Brothers, joining us, talking about New Year's Eve event. All these links will be posted at the end of the show, all the posters, all the information. And speaking of that, coming up later tonight, Mondays are my favorite day because I get to do 2 live shows, talk with some fantastic people. And then tonight it's father versus son. My son Jason and I will be live on Twitch as we game. And he usually kicks my butt. I'm not going to lie. But we have a lot of fun doing it. It's kind of like trying to beat your dad at checkers, but reversed. I'm trying to beat him at his game. We have a lot of fun. It's very entertaining. Just come by and watch. You'll see the link to my Twitch channel. And then tomorrow night, normally I would have a gaming night, but I won't be having my gaming night tomorrow night. I'll be having I guess a different kind of gaming. I guess karaoke is a game. Is karaoke a game? I guess you could call that. We're going to have fun and games tomorrow night down at McCarthy's Southside Bar and Grill. They're having their customer appreciation night, and I will be there doing karaoke at 6 o'clock, 6 to 10. We're starting early for us old guys. Start early, finish early, right? So come on out and have some fun tomorrow night at McCarthy's Southside Bar and Grill. Wow, so lots to talk about. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming by and saying hello and listening to what everybody's got to say. But that's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I will see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.